What are you doing, despised bread cake eater? Happily, you have decided to become a fig eater as well. There, chapter 39. The concluding. There remains but little to tell. How Guljan returned. And how she and Khoja Nasreddin met. He forestalled her by one day, returning home at nightfall. He went straight to bed. Being extremely fatigued by the journey. He made his bed on the flat roof. In the morning, roused by the sun, he glanced down and cried out in a furious voice. What are you doing, despised bread cake eater? Happily, you have decided to become a fig eater as well. This shout was addressed to the ass. Khoja Nasreddin had forgotten to shut the gate into the garden the previous night, and the ass had got in and worked wanton ruin among the fig trees, which he had stripped off both the fruit and leaves. He was forthwith expelled by means of a stick. After which Khoja Nasreddin was kept busy for a long time trying to disguise the more obvious signs of damage. He still had lots of things to see, to take the cooking pot to be mended, to pay the butcher, to loosen the earth around the vines, and most important of all, to mend the garden wall. To this last task he addressed himself first without delay. He dug a hole in the ground and mixed a mortar consisting half of clay and half of shredded straw. Yani kawa gilra gatka. And that was all he managed to do when a wagon appeared. Tawali kar khat gil gatka ki ek dafa ek dana wagon see appeared from round the corner, and his ears were assailed all at once by 7 ringing voices. Ding, ring, 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 warning sign, washa, ringing the bell, over which preponderated a powerful eighth belonging to Guljan. I salute you, my darling husband. How did you get on here without me? Oh, quite well. Said Khoja Nasreddin, helping his offspring down from the wagon and kissing each in turn. Number 2, number 3. I missed you all. And kept looking forward to your return. Resting a hand on his shoulder, Guljan alighted from the wagon. And the first thing she beheld on looking round was the hole in the garden wall. What about the wall? The wall is kargde. Khoja Nasreddin dropped his eyes in confusion. I could not find time for it. I know not why ekdam faham chara. What with one thing and another. Yeah, I was so busy. Look, Guljan cried angrily. Look at that man. In 3 months, 3 whole months, he has not been able to see to such a little task. In finishing this, our second book about Khoja Nasreddin, we should have liked to be able to reassure the reader that all the actors therein, not excluding of course the venerable sage of the Brotherhood of the Silent and the Sapient Darweshes, attained the happy ending which they deserved. Truth, however, compels us to confess with sorrow that the Venerable One did not live to see Khoja Nasreddin again. He died, as he would have expressed it, passed into another higher state. Mumgim died कि माँ इंतकाल यानी मुंतकिल ट्रांसफर शुदम दीगर स्टेट दीगर हालत बरतर. Possibly, nay, almost certainly, the ancient Darwesh himself would not have considered this passage a matter of sorrowful reflection. But we, who are still remote from the rarefied heights of his wisdom, are unable to conceal the grief that overwhelms us over his nameless grave. Mo kheli betabastem ki amo gori benam zura ziyarat karne mein roz. For he had died as becomes a true darwish. Amo ki darwish hai khidamu tarz ki anjam pazir musha wa murqam haq shibud wa dazur asid, without disclosing his name. And in that very namelessness, his grave suddenly acquired a sublime human meaning, implicit in the words, "Here lies a man." كيش نام شنو بليزونيا بظنهم تقديري عدمها كين منجي يك عدم خاوا. And that is how Khoja Nasreddin understood that grave. When he heard of the old sage's decease from a beggar, as yakdana faqir, amitashanid, who had arranged his burial. That beggar, in showing Khoja Nasreddin to his grave, had related on the way, the ziyarat rayena lina ina zawar. I was with him till the last. He died in silence, true to his vow. Ahd kadabut ki silence. And only towards the very end did his whisper, "Yag the gushim yagga gufta akhir waqt. Take the money under my head and give my body a simple burial." Yani rupi kirayetu margorko. All that remains, Archie was as Prasimand, give away to the poor. He died with such a light of joy upon his face that I was astonished. مسرت رفت که ما اصلا حیران ماندم که این رقم چی رقم مرادم که قدر خوشحال هستی تو از چیز خوشحالی تو بگذاره ای. Leave me by myself, Khoja Nasreddin said. And his companion departed. There at UMunji, he knelt before the grave, Zanuzat, the Pesh Qabr, which did not have even a simple stone upon it. Sang Qabram Baleshnabud. Life itself, however, took care of its adornment. Albata Khodi Hayat Uratazin Kadabud. Here and there, upon the little mound, young grass was pushing through. So was Kitab. As many Amzu Khabri and a tiny flower had made its home at the head of the grave. A blue drop that had fallen upon it from heaven together with yesterday's rain. Shabnam, Qatra, Baran. Khoja Nasreddin tarried long in the cemetery. The Goristan UMunji kafi der sheshta unja. Mentally conversing with the dead, talking with them with his mind. Darkness fell, tariq shud. The air became fresh and the stars lit up in the dark sky. Khoja Nasreddin said, "Farewell, Alvida, venerable sage, Ya Waliullah. I shall visit you once in a while." Mayum morum peshtu. And he heard a soothing answer, conveyed to his mind through his heart, not in words, but in a warm wave. Ek mauji garam ter migra ter dil tera. Set your mind at ease about the lake. Guft mutmain bash, marazim, continued Khoja Nasreddin. I have done everything that I saw fit. Har kar ki mitnistam anjam dadam, and done it well. Kamilan mukammal kadam kara. The anjam jirzunda. I am glad if my modest aid you have been enabled to pass into the higher state of immortal existence. The alami bala امیدوار هستم که به آرامش قرار داشته باشی که کارتو خلاص شده. Of one thing though, I am guilty. یک جای ملامت هستم. I have not succeeded in finding my faith. یعنی اینجا ما فعلا طوال ملامتم، پشیمانم، ده حسرتم که به ایمان نرسیدم. Truth to tell, Ras Prasankani, I relied upon your promise to help me in that search. ما گفتم این کار خلاص کردم، مایم پیش تو بستم، من راه نشان میدی نه. But you went. مایم که تو رفته. And passed to another state without waiting. گاه رفتی، کارس کت خلاص گاه رئیش دی. Now, of course, I shall try to find it myself. But I know not whether I shall succeed. Majestically and solemnly, in the company of the stars, the world floated through the blue gloom of night. The wind rustled in the trees, the nocturnal birds cried, the dewy verdure smelled sweetly, and Khoja Nasreddin's heart beat high within his breast. In all this, he suddenly perceived his faith. Felt it with absolute certainty. Albeit he could not yet give it a name. His heart overflowing with rapture. Mujoshas ehsas masarrat. And the joy of boundless love for the world. Himself aware of a similar answering love from the living world. Was hayat khud chi taraf response mana jawab salam ra. He mingled and merged with all the animate things around him without losing himself. Qad hama cheez one shud. Bajaye ki ehsas khud bajaye ki khud ra faramosh kana ya از دست بیدیا یا بی خود چنا خود چی هم هسته اما everything के साथ connected است. And entered within the portal of one of those precious moments. The lamha darana is when man makes contact with the great and eternal world gig of life to which death has no access. Abadiya. Aane Wahid. Huzur. His faith sounded ever louder within his soul. ایمان چی دا ایقان تبدیل شده ریه اما صدای یقین همتون معلوم میده که اینزی and brimmed over اینال درو سریزنه but the word for it, the one and only wondrous word eluded him. چیز بگم مایی را یه احساس را ای کیفیت را یه حال را چی بگم. He knew it was there, somewhere near, but he strained all his powers in order that the flame of his soul rise to his mind and kindle that great word within. And when at last he seemed to be swooning with the violence of his efforts, the word suddenly flashed within him with a blinding, dazzling light. Explosion of light, and flying to his lips, seared them with its invisible flame. Life! He cried, quivering, unaware of the tears that streamed down his face. And everything around him quivered in startled response. The wind, the rocks, the leaves, the grass, and the distant stars. Strange. He had always known that simple word, Zindagi. He had always known it, but never till now had he probed its fathomless depths. And now that he had plumbed them, that word became all comprehensive and infinite to him. All comprehensive, including everything. From that memorable day, when the prophetic word had been revealed to him, Ilham ki masha. At the graveside of the old Darwesh, he began to live differently. Az roz zindagi masir taghyir. To live in lucid serenity. Itminan kamil ke saath जीवन. Untroubled and undisturbed by doubts. لا شك موجود في anything. Unoppressed by the confusion and seeming chaos of the world. Aslan khakbari dunya ich. Of the world he lived in, for he now held the true and trustworthy key to everything. Master key. The further story of his life, however, will make a new book to be written by someone else. داستان بعدی زیرا کس دیگه باید نوشته کنه. By our successor, who goes after us, आने वाली नस्ल. Our labor, हमारी मेहनत, here are ended. And we take leave of Khoja Nasreddin. By Jaze Khoja Nasreddin. In mind, of course, we shall return to him many a time. Mentally is about connection Wi-Fi. Aata jata rahega kahani. Mentally, in mind, of course, we shall return to him many a time to hold mental conversation with him on a variety of subjects and matters that we shall meet with upon life's road. But to pen and paper, we shall return no more. For we have said of him all that we know. هر چی که دانسته مشد بریزی گفتیم. گفتنی بود گفتیم. And all that we wished to say. که ارمان داشتیم که می داستان را درشم برسنیم و ارمان هم رسید. 1954. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. خوانده شد 18 مارچ 2013. ترجمه شود. یا ارمان اصل کو. ایسی ارمان را سی ارمان. د فارسی، د آذرگی، د اردو. Now 5 years later, فقط تنستیم کی زبانی د UMunji strategy at the Hazara Pioneers library. قنجقه Mechidtv دیگه. قنجقه ساعت. د اجده چیزی؟ اجده اکتبر ما رسندیم برابر و نادر تشنم چارگر. The Enchanted Prince by Lyonid Solovyov, 1954. 2014. (1954), 64, 74, 84, 94, 2004, 2014. After 60 years, 64 years, we have been able to present this story to you. I hope that you will be able to choose a language in which to translate this story. The Adventures of Khoja Nasreddin.
گر ساعتی ببری زنده شهر چه باشد غوط خوری چو ماهی در بحر ما چه باشد صد بار عهد کردی که این بار خاک باشم یک بار پاس داری آن عهد را چه باشد تو گوهری نهفتن در کاغل گرفته گر رخ ز گل بشویی ای خوش لقا چه باشد از پشت پادشاهی مسجود جبریلی ملک پدر بجویی ای بنوا چه باشد گر ساعتی ببری زنده شهر چه باشد غوط خوری چو ماهی در بحر ما چه باشد گر ساعتی بباری زنده شهر چه باشد بی سر شوی آسمان از کبر و حرص خالی بی سر شوی آسمان از کبر و حرص خالی آنگه سری براری از کبریا چه باشد از ذکر نوش شربت تا وارهی ز فکرت در جنگ اگر نپیچی ای مرتضی چه باشد از ذکر نوش شربت تا وارهی ز فکرت در جنگ اگر نپیچی ای مرتضی چه باشد ای مرتضی چه باشد